Yeah, and why don't we stick with the rivalry of Ajax then? Looking kind of through it from a historical perspective, you kind of have to pinpoint the 60s and 70s, I would say, as kind of a key turning point in this rivalry. Because we mentioned, of course, Feyenoord and Ajax, historically the two biggest clubs in Dutch football. But the 60s and 70s was really the era where they were not only the prominent clubs in Holland, but also in all of Europe. Both clubs really had huge successes. I mean, okay, domestically, between 65 and 80, 13 of the 16 league titles went to both the clubs. So truly dominating the domestic front, but also in Europe. I mean, some of the biggest achievements for both clubs was during that era. How much did that almost incite this rivalry to a whole new level that has prevailed until today?
It's hard for me to look into that because I was born, like I said, in '83. But the history of Dutch football is basically, I guess, in those years. And Ajax always has the name to play the total football, and also with the Dutch national team, which was lots of Ajax players. But the slogan at Feyenoord is always the first. We were the first Dutch team to win a European prize, which was in 1970 when we beat Celtic. The coach was Ernst Happel, like we already talked about. He was also the coach who went up to coach the national team in 1974, which became second at the World Cups. And Ernst Happel played also the total football, because that's the problem we have at Rotterdam. We've always been when put in a way that is say like hard working class. We are Rotterdam is a hard working class city. Ajax is more the fantastic, brilliant, good-looking style of football, and Feyenoord is the hard-working football, tackles and all that stuff. There's some truth to that, but Feyenoord is also the club which had Koen Moulijn, which was an amazing left winger in the 70s. Feyenoord is also the club who had Robin van Persie. Well, I don't have to talk about how talented he was. So we've also brought up very nice looking players, but the rivalry was back then wasn't as hostile as it was right now. Back then, players switched from Ajax to Feyenoord and back, which is still sometimes done, but a lot of more hostility than back then. But I think that has to do with the fact that after the 70s, when we were the best of Europe, the best of the world, we also became world champions. After that, Feyenoord were not able to build on that success, and we see Ajax, they build on that success, and they've been a dominant team basically in Europe for like their whole existence, while Feyenoord extremely dropped off and had those terrible seasons. And every now and then they had some life in them again, and they had some good results in Europe or in the domestic league. But that's what frustrates us Feyenoord supporters, that the success we had back then never got built into futuristic success, and now we're at the point that, well, we kind of think we're ahead of Ajax right now, but are we still? We don't know. We don't know. We will see.
I think the main slogan of Ajax fans is "We zijn Ajax, we zijn the best," which translates to "Yeah, we are Ajax, we are the best." So it should be very annoying to hear that from a Feyenoord fans' perspective. And do you think that the role of Johan Cruyff played a huge role? In my opinion, yes. Like Johan Cruyff was from Ajax, he went to Barcelona, and he spread his philosophy outside the Netherlands. So it was probably the key factor in Ajax becoming what they are today.
Definitely, Johan Cruyff is of course a legend. He was probably the best player from Holland that we ever had. Had a fantastic career as a player, but then also as a coach. Of course, all the success with Ajax and also later on with Barcelona. It's kind of fun. He ended his career with Feyenoord. He had a dispute with Ajax, and his last season, in the season I was born, the year was I was born, 1983. He switched over from Ajax to Feyenoord, and we won the double. We won the Dutch league, and we won the cup. We kind of think that's funny to tease Ajax supporters and say, well, he hated you so much, he wanted to end up his career with us, but he's still known as an Ajax player, not as a Feyenoord player.
You can tell from that it was definitely a different era of football back then. I think the world football doesn't make players like Johan Cruyff anymore, and I think it's quite sad. Like I mentioned before, with kind of the city elements of Rotterdam, this real industrious working class identity, it's also very interesting to parallel that to what Amsterdam is, and where Ajax come from. From me, Amsterdam, especially as kind of a foreigner, but someone who is 2 hours away in West Germany, Amsterdam is always this very cosmopolitan place, very liberal. I mean, we of course have the red light district, the marijuana side of things, but also many other elements before that. It's also always gives off this image of being a very affluent city with kind of high society almost. And again, when we parallel that to what Rotterdam is, it feels like almost more fuel for what this big rivalry is.
That's why we hate them. Ajax, like Jacek already said, their slogan is "We are Ajax, we are the best." Even though they became fifth or fourth in the league last year, and they haven't been performing for the last couple of years, they still have those big mouths. A resident of Amsterdam always thinks that Holland ends with the borders of Amsterdam. They don't think there's anything outside of Amsterdam. So that arrogance we hate it in Rotterdam, and I think it's in other countries as well. There's a huge difference between the capital of the city and the working class cities like Rotterdam is, and it's the two biggest cities of Holland. Amsterdam is the biggest, Rotterdam is the second. So
I must say that I visited all three of them. So Rotterdam, Eindhoven, and Amsterdam. I didn't really enjoy Amsterdam. I'm gonna be honest here. Eindhoven is my favorite city in the Netherlands, and I visit it
oh,
quite often. But I visited Rotterdam 2 years ago with my girlfriend, and the thing that I like the most. So I went straight to Varkenoord. Of course, it was my thing. Oh, I need to visit the academy, and my girlfriend, he knows it. So we took a boat, and then okay, we go to the Feyenoord academy, and I went there without even like saying to people, I will be there. I just went there and got inside. And first, I met this person in charge of the academy, and I was ready to hear the answer no to my question. Can I visit the academy? Can I go and make some pictures? I will make a nice post on my socials. I showed him Football Talent Scouts, and he said, "Of course, feel yourself at home." And I was shocked. I was really shocked because in Belgium, if I would do the same thing with Anderlecht, they would call police on me and they would say, "Go away! You can't. It's trespassing." No, and there, the guy was so nice. And one more thing that he told me, such a shame that you didn't come 5 minutes before. There was Robin van Persie, and you could make a picture with Robin van Persie. And I was really, I was shocked and thrilled at the same time, and so happy being able to make these pictures and visit all these stadiums that I watch, well, mostly on YouTube when Feyenoord under 19 or under 17 plays. So it was really amazing. I enjoyed the city a lot. So yeah, beautiful city, beautiful club, and beautiful academy.
Yeah, yes, I think your story almost kind of comes to the core of Feyenoord as a very down to earth club, working class people, working class attitude, working class mentality, and it's also reflected in the football. I think is that something you would go along with, Johan?
yes, like I said, it's we've always been known as working class football, but I think the last couple of years, especially on the Arne Slot, which we'll probably still talk about, there's been a new kind of play which we wanted to see so badly because we love football here in Rotterdam. I think we are even more passionate about the football than for example in Amsterdam or in Eindhoven. So when final plays, you can feel the buzz in the city.